On Earth Day, April 22nd, 2023, Missouri Organic Recycling sponsored the second annual Kansas City Compost Fest at the Kansas City Farm School at Gibbs Road. Kansas City's Compost Fest included composting-themed booths and workshops and the construction of a 60-ton compost pile. Building this big pile helps teach how Missouri Organic Recycling handles huge quantities of food and yard waste each day. Plus, it leaves the host with a big pile of compost to be used for years to come. This year's big pile involved Missouri Organic Recycling trucking in 50 cubic yards of leaves, 20 yards of ground woody waste. Also, Kansas City's local food waste collection services contributed about 4,000 pounds of their customers' food waste, but what was missing was some moisture and a little more nitrogen. Now, on the day of the festival, our skid steer volunteer extraordinaire, Mark Kalin from Kalin Custom Homes, started mixing the leaves, the food waste, and the mulch into a long pile called a windrow. At around 10:30 a.m., Missouri Organic brought its stainless steel tanker truck with 2,500 gallons of yeasty beer dregs from Boulevard Brewing Company. The beer provided much-needed moisture, and the yeast added to the nitrogen content. This helped to accelerate the bacterial activity in the pile. As the beer was added, Mark's skid steer rolled and folded the liquid into the dry ingredients. The pile was then left to compost and reached a high of 130 degrees. The workshops at Compost Fest featured a wide variety of composting and organic management techniques. Goats on the Go brought their work crew out to demonstrate how goats can clear invasive plants. They eagerly ate the invasive Japanese honeysuckle and used the nutrition to feed themselves and their babies. They eat the weeds and they make it easy for us to cut the brush out. Plus, they leave a gift of good fertilizer.
My name is Kevin Anderson. I'm one of the owners of Missouri Organic Recycling. We've been doing composting for roughly 30 years now. So we were one of the very first that started doing compost in Kansas City. We collect food waste from grocery stores, cafeterias, restaurants. We also collect yard waste from municipalities. We make compost. And today, we're putting on the Compost Fest to try to bring all the composters and the people that are collecting compost in Kansas City together and create awareness for compost. So we definitely appreciate all the partners that are here today. We've created a really great compost pile today for KC Farm School. So really happy to be able to support and make sure that we are being the leaders when it comes to food waste recycling.
Hi, I'm Karen Ramsey. I'm the co-founder of Food Cycle KC. We are a local company dedicated to supporting the full food cycle. So we offer compost collection services. We take that compost to our farm in Eudora and we turn it into the magic of real compost that we can provide back to local school and community gardens to help support them growing and addressing food insecurity in our area, which is a pretty critical problem. So Compost Fest is a great way to come see all the different kinds of options for composting, whether that's a compost service or soldier fly composting, Burma composting, backyard composting. We're highlighting all of those options that you have to take your food waste and do something constructive with it and not just send it to the landfill.
I am Brooke Savaggio. I'm an urban farmer and an avid composter. I own and operate Compost Collective KC. And what we do at Compost Collective is we go around the metro area and we collect your food waste and turn it into the most beautiful, rich soil that actually goes on my farm fields and produces more and better food. So the process is really like alchemy, trash to treasure. What I really encourage people to understand is that their food waste is not waste at all. It's actually a nutrient. So if we cycle it back into the earth, it actually feeds the earth and feeds people versus going in a landfill where it will create methane gas and warm the planet and cause ecological destruction of all kinds. So the cool thing is, as individuals, we have the power to curb climate change in our own kitchens simply by composting our food scraps. And I'm here today at Compost Fest among all these other incredible companies and community organizations that have the same mission as me, which is to curb climate change through the act of composting. And I'm just really excited. It's rare that all of us composters get together and touch base and see each other and educate the community together. And what's so beautiful about this group of folks is, even if we're competing companies, we're all working together for the same mission. And you know, this is an act of passion. It's not a business, it's not a product. It's simply something that needs to be happening in every municipality all over the world. And I'm just excited to be here and work with these folks and, you know, do the good work, do the dirty work.
David Haken of KC Drawdown Society demonstrated his kitchen worm composting system, which uses a simple 5-gallon bucket. David received a grant to place 100 of these bins across Kansas City. KC Can Compost offers curbside and drop-off collection of food waste, as well as job training within the company. So this is about 20,000 larvae right there. Okay. And those are mostly in coffee grounds. They're not dirty or gross or anything. You can pick them up if you want, or just pass them around. Take a look. Okay, so that is a maggot. We don't like that word, so we say larva. It is a dipterid fly. They'll actually eat that meat, and you will not smell anything except for almost like this brewery smell. It's really amazing. So they're able to control the nasty gram-negative bacteria that make the bad smells. So if you're into vermicomposting, these are a great way to extend and expand your summer vermicomposting program. So you keep your worms indoors during the summer and these guys outdoors during the summer. And then during the winter, you go back to focusing on the cool critters.
I'm doing this for my grandchildren because I want them to have a livable planet. And so I teach about this stuff, but the actual doing is what's going to help the earth. The whole idea of this is to create a fungal-rich product when we're done.
The heat's staying here on earth. Well, there ain't no use in denying it's a burning glow. Well, the heat is trapped by gases from the things that we burn. Like the fuel in your car and the furnace and the power plant. It also comes from the clearing and burning of forests. Landfills and livestock contribute their share too. Well, the oceans are starting to rise. Floods and droughts are coming our way. People, plants, and animals are starting to die from a burning glow. Sucker me, baby, now. Share a few ways how it can help save us from a burning glow, baby.